Yeah, it's wild stuff, man. So, like, sometimes
So what
like,
was taking the loss like?
uh, it was, it was weird. Like, it's weird. Honestly, I kind of spiraled out of control a little bit because I thought everything was over, man. Like,
Oh,
it's the Floyd Mayweather era. Like, you're not supposed to lose. If
yeah.
you lose once, you're trash. You're garbage. Like, dude, you got a loss. You're horrible. And so that's another thing too. I like now, I'm trying to give back and talk to kids and stuff like that. Like, well, like
How did you bounce
a
back?
loss ain't nothing. It took a long time. Like honestly, I can honestly say I am literally just now getting my confidence back.
Back.
It's been years later, man. Like it, it, it takes your confidence a little bit. If, like everyone handles stuff differently. Like, but for someone like me, I never really went through adversity. Like,
Adversity.
I always had friends in school.
So
Was
what
always
was your
good at sports.
winning streak like before you take the first loss?
Huh?
Like a 10-0, 20-0?
I was 20 something, maybe 21,
What?
22, 23.
22-0?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was wild. But man, you want to know something that's weird? Like, I don't know, but one of the weirdest things is before I took my first loss, I was supposed to be the co-main event. And the dude who trains Deontay Wilder was the main event. I forgot his name, Malik. And so, and the person who was right up under me was Tank. And so,
Tank?
yeah. And so,
Wow.
5 minutes before Tank's supposed to fight, and this is like when I stopped going to Mayweather gym and stuff, and then they come and tell me, it's like, hey, Floyd says he wants Tank and Liddell to switch. I'm like, what? He's like, he said Tank
So
gonna be.
they want Tank to
in.
be the co-main event?
Yeah, so 5 minutes. So they told me that, and I got to go out and fight in 5 minutes where I'm chilling like, well, I was already
That's not
warmed
good
up
for
and
you.
stuff. So I don't think it made too much difference, but that whole fight was like memorable because it was just a whole bunch of stuff there, which was cool. I remember just even talking to Gary Russell then was there, and I rode in the vans to the fights with all the Gary Russell brothers, and they was there, and they was all cool and stuff. And so, from the hotel, they pick you up in the shuttle and take you to the fight, with them. And then other thing was my boy, we got real close, Javante Starks, yeah. And so one thing about him is he fought on the undercard. He fought like up under me and stuff. Where when I first started, now we real good friends too. Like we be talking and stuff. When I first started boxing, I get on YouTube and he was the #1 guy in the nation in my weight class in the amateurs. I used to watch him and stuff.
What weight class do you fight?
In the amateurs. So I was all over the place. I fought at everything. I fought at super heavyweight. I fought at light heavyweight.
Heavyweight?
Yeah.
How do you fight heavyweight? Heavyweight is like about 200, like 190,
No,
right?
super heavyweight. I fought super heavyweight.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a funny story. So the dude actually fought. We cool now, and we actually became teammates right after that. But T, and he was undefeated too. And so at the time, but we went all the way down to Broken Arrow, and so what is like almost 2 hours away. We go down there, and it's a smoker, and my whole family show up. I got probably, well, not the whole family, but at least it's 15 to 20 people show up. And then, you weigh in, you come back to see if you got a match, and like, no, he ain't got no match. And so my dad's like, hey, we drove 2 hours, he gonna fight somebody. And like, well, the only person who ain't fought, he weighs 220. And then like they fighting. We down, they gonna fight.
You do want to fight?
They let us fight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I got the win. It was funny because it was my boy T. It was his first loss too. He was beating everybody. And what's so crazy, he had just beat a dude who ended up signing with Heyman too.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I ended up beating him. And then, but my main two weights, I go back and forth from 165, which is middleweight, to 152 in the amateurs. So for me now, fighting at 130, 135, I never thought I'd fight at them weights. Yeah.
So before I forget, you having event coming up, man. You want to talk about that a little bit for,
Yeah, so
August 31st, right?
August 31st, Oklahoma City at the Farmers Market, shoot, so be there. But really, it's called The Future of Boxing 2. So that's a little series I'm doing where I'm putting together all that young new talent and stuff, because I don't think Oklahoma ain't seen a wave like this since back when you had Liddell Rose, Carson Jones, Alex Salcedo, and really it was only 3 people, but it was 3 hitters coming up.
At the same time.
There ain't been like a crop like this coming up, like all together at once, and they can really fight. Since that time. So you're gonna see some of the best dudes you done seen in Oklahoma. And this is the first show. It's basically a homegrown show where most of my fights, all the others still will have Vegas guys and stuff on, but this is the first one where it's no foreigners, no guys from Australia, from Italy,
From Africa, Italy,
Africa, anywhere. It's all Oklahoma guys. You got the couple guys right there on the border from Texas and stuff, but they're basically Oklahoma guys as well. They tied in with us too, but it's going to be basically a real local show, and it's going to show the best talent you're going to see and stuff. There's still a couple other guys who they're supposed to be in pro, but they're still waiting to have their pro debuts with us and stuff. But they're going to be on them shows too, and we got some hitters coming up where we got some kids who can really fight, or shoot, not kids now. I mean, let me call them men. They pros. These young men.
I'm not gonna lie though, like as far as consistency is concerned with your show, you've been up there. In a year, you do like 2 or 3 shows. Because I remember when I first met you about 2 years ago at I can't remember the name of the hotel. I knew it was a St. Patrick's Day, and I was like, "Oh, are you a boxer?" You said, "Yeah." Say I'm fighting. I promote my show, and I'm like, "This guy crazy," And ever since, your show has always been like twice a year, 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Want to thank you, because you helping the city when it comes to boxing too. Putting light on some of the boxers from. Last one was done in Kelly Avenue, the other one, Guthrie, and all that. Yeah. So let me digress a little bit. Give me your top 5 boxers of all time. You could put yourself in it too if you want to.
Of course, me number 1.
Okay.
But so I have different lists, but I'm gonna say my favorite.
Your favorite, yeah.
I don't really think that some of my favorite are the best all time, but my top 5 favorite would be. It's a tie for. I got 1A and 1B.
Let's start from 5.
All right, 5. He's actually my Facebook friend.